This is a quiz on the metaphysical school of poetry. This quiz includes John Donne's The Flea, Ecstasy, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, and the Holy Sonnet. Then the second poet, George Herbert's Life and the Pulley. The third poet, Andrew Marvell, to his koi Mistress. Let's see the questions of the quiz. Question number 1, write short notes on the following. What is the significance of the flea in John Donne's poem with the same title, The Flea, on both the thematic and the formal aspects? In this question, you have to trace all the symbolic meanings and the function of the flea in this poem, all the conceits and the relation between this flea and the subgenre of this poem. Then, in the second question, what is the definition of a conceit? With reference to the compass image in John Donne's A Valediction Forbidding Mourning. Of course, you know that a conceit is a far-fetched image. You have to write the full definition, then apply this on the compass image اللي هي صورة البرجل in John Donne's poem A Valediction Forbidding Mourning وداع يمنع الحداد. Then in the third question, mention or state the army conceit in John Donne's The Ecstasy. صورة الجيش في قصيدة النشوة أو قمة السعادة كانت إيه؟ نشرحها ونشرح أطراف الكونسيت. الكويستشن اللي بعد كده برضو write about the paradox in addressing death in John Donne's The Holy Sonnet. كان في very famous paradox in the last lines of the poem. What are these lines? What is the definition of a paradox? And explain this in the poem's context. The following question, write about the theme of the brevity of life in George Herbert's life. Of course, life here is the title of the poem. Write about the theme of the brevity of life or shortness of life and how far this poet explains this idea of the shortness of life through using which conceit or which symbols. The following question, write about the symbolic significance of the pulley, رمانة الميزان, as a title in George Herbert's poem entitled The Pulley. What is the symbolic meaning of the pulley? What is the relation between the title and the theme of the poem and the message or the purpose of the poet behind this poem? Then we have another type of questions. State whether the following statements are true or false and justify your answer. What do we mean by this? You have to write a comment on every one of these questions, whether it's true or false. If it's true, consider it a short notes question and write about this idea. If it's false, then you have to correct the wrong statement provided. Question number 1 in true or false. George Herbert is the leader of the metaphysical school of poetry. True or false? If it's true, you have to write a very brief biography about George Herbert. If it's false, you have to correct this and you have to provide a very short biography about the leader of the metaphysical school of poetry, explaining which century in which this school flourished. The second one, John Donne ended his poetic career by writing erotic love poems. John Donne ended his poetic career by writing erotic love poems. كتب في نهاية حياته الأدبية قصائد عن الحب الماجن اللي هو physical love or love of body. Is this true or false? And provide examples or evidence. Number 3, George Herbert wrote about spiritual love. Is this true or false? And comment or justify your answer. Number 4, John Donne's love for Anne Moore affected his personal and public life. John Donne's love for Anne Moore affected his personal and public life. Is this true or false? And explain your answer or justify your answer. Number 5, The Flea, or the poem entitled The Flea by John Donne, is one of the examples of erotic love poems. أحد أمثلة الحب الماجن. Is this true or false? And you have to justify. Number 6, The Flea as a poem is a humorous and funny poem. Is this true? Number 7, The Ecstasy. It's a name of the poem by John Donne. The ecstasy reveals the superiority of physical love, which means not spiritual love. Is this true or false? And provide evidence, please, for your answer. Number 8, in this poem, The Ecstasy, number 8, is a continuation for number 7. It's about the same poem, The Ecstasy. The two souls, of course, of the two lovers are compared to two books. Is this true or false? Of course, you have to revise the poem first before you answer this question. Number 9, George Herbert's poems are mystic. قصائد فيها تصوف، فيها عشق إلهي. Is this true or false? Number 10, George Herbert's life deals with the theme of brevity of life. George Herbert's life deals with the theme of brevity of life or shortness of life. Is this true or false? Of course, we mean the poem entitled Life, not George Herbert's personal life. Number 11, George Herbert's poems are philosophical. George Herbert's poems are philosophical. Is this true or false? Number 12, Andrew Marvell's To His Coy Mistress combines the characteristics of the metaphysical school and the romantic school. Andrew Marvell's To His Coy Mistress combines the characteristics of the metaphysical school and the romantic school. Is this true or false? Number 13, To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell, of course, is rich with political and religious allusions. Is this true or false? If it's true, you have to provide the evidence. Number 14, To His Coy Mistress employs the theme of carpe diem, or pick the flower, or you have to enjoy life because life is very short. Is this true? Number 15, To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell has a satirical tone. Do you agree with this? This is the end of our quiz. Good luck for all of you. Thanks for watching and goodbye.